Welcome to today's episode of Blockrevision, and today we'll be talking about an interesting cryptocurrency that has been one of the best performing altcoins in 2021, with its year-to-date profits at 8,500%. Just look at the gains. So Solana is one of those cryptocurrency blockchains that is based on proof-of-stake blockchain that is by many claimed to be more environmentally friendly than other popular proof-of-work blockchains like Bitcoin. Solana has a ticker SOL, and we would like to have a look at SOL to USDT, that is stable cryptocurrency, and we would like to approach it on Binance. However, beyond this and that, environmental issues wasn't the only one that made Solana an outstanding blockchain. Solana has something that really differentiates its blockchain from the others. The very important one thing was that it could be able to deliver faster operations and lower transaction fees among its competitors, and relatively it's a very highly operative in relation to what Ethereum has presented. So right now Solana is one of these cryptocurrencies that is highly developed, and we would like to firstly take a viewpoint on what's the fundamentals behind Solana. So firstly, let's have a look at what the media is saying about Solana. We can find on Cointelegraph that right now Solana is in a month-long consolidation, and it's true that right now we are really hanging on for the next move of Solana after approaching the apex. Apex is the end of this triangle that we are right now approaching, the decisive phase on this cryptocurrency. Very optimistic to its chain is that by CoinShares we can find that more and more institutional inflow we can find exactly on Solana. Solana is getting a favorite right ahead Cardano, one of the favorite coin among investors, among institutional investors. So we can find on Solana that week flows as well as month-to-day flows are at an outstanding level comparing to other blockchains. On the other hand, something that may bother some of the investors, recently we've seen, well, literally not maybe recently, but on 21st of September, we've seen an outage where network has suffered some problems regarding its stability. The cause of the network stall was a denial of service attack. At 12 UTC, Grape Protocol launched their ADO on Radium, and bots generated transactions that flooded the network, and that was something that made a problem for this recently developed blockchain Solana. So we can find that Solana is literally something that may suffer from problems in the months to come, as it's quite new. However, such problems as an outages shouldn't really run or shouldn't really lead the future price action, as right now we can see that's nothing that should we worry about. On 21st of September, just after that outage happened, we've seen a strong rebound. So it means that investors are not really worried about such an event as that one that happened today. So let's have a look at how quickly Solana is been developed of recent. We can find that on social medias, as well as on Reddit, as on Twitter, the amount of followers are increasing in a higher pace than usual. That's a bullish signal. Let's have a look at developers. The amount of developers is stable among the recent months, so it's very bullish as well. Right after this this August slump has happened on Solana, the amount of developers has even increased regarding its first and second quarter. And now let's have a look at funding rates behind Solana, as it's a very important indicator of its future price behavior. So right now we can find that on most of exchanges we are in a positive territory, so it means that the market is generally bullish on this blockchain. Especially Solana is the most often being longed by investors on OKX, so we can find there are lots of Asian investors on this exchange, so Asia is mainly bullish on Solana. And let's have a look how this funding rates turning up regarding its past. So we can find that average funding rate on Solana was right at similar level as it's right now. So the interest in Solana is not very high regarding its past moves, and we may find a possible comparison to what happened in May, as we are quite far from the point where we were, where average funding rate were sitting right behind 0.09 nearly percent. So it was yeah, that was astronomically high. So we are very high from that happening of that day. So this very abrupt long liquidation shouldn't happen in the nearest future on Solana price behavior. So also on the CoinMarketCap we can find that yeah, something that has already happened on or trying to happen on fourth quarter of 2021 is link integration on Sol, and very important even that it was signed as important by its community, so it's signed as hot. So that's something that we may have a look at. So it's on 23rd of November we should have a notice on this event that may happen in Hong Kong. So let's have a look right now at technical analysis. Okay, so on Solana with a pair to USDT we can find that we are forming something that is called a symmetrical triangle. This triangle has started being formed in the first half of September of this year, and in symmetrical triangle, like analyzing what technical analysis is telling us, the principles are that price must touch one trend line at least 3 times and the other trend line at least twice, forming distinct valleys and peaks. So right now we can definitely categorize these formations as triangle. We have touched this trend line thrice, and that also thrice. Right now we can find that we are in a decisive point in terms of possible breakout. Symmetrical triangles that appear on longer time frames as on a weekly one are stronger in its breakout than those from with shorter time frames being formed. So right now all eyes of investors in crypto space are definitely looking at what Solana will do in the next days, because we are just approaching this apex. Normally in such formations as symmetrical triangles, the breakout is occurring right before 1/3 of a length of a triangle. So that's a very important moment as of right now. If we break higher to the upside, I will just would just look forward for this Solana to break an all-time high, as normally minimum extension of this move to be happen is if we just extend our one of the triangles lines, and if we just would like to measure the extension of a base, that is a base of triangle, we could find that possible minimum I emphasize that term, minimum extension of a move of Solana. If we just break to the upside, or maybe let's assume from somewhere like this that will happen, the minimum extension of a price to the upside will be right at the 250 bucks. So just remember, right now there is a decisive point for Solana, and Solana is definitely watching what Bitcoin will do in the coming days, because it's just approaching an all-time high. So if we just make a very abrupt move to the upside on Bitcoin, definitely the whole altcoin space will suffer, because it's a normal rule that when Bitcoin is spinning up in the price to the upside, the whole altcoin space is suffering, and in reverse. So right now we can find that Solana is a possibly very important crypto to watch, but I would wait for possible break of this triangle. If it will happen to the upside, I will take my trade position with a trading board. Set like here, with very beneficiary risk-reward ratio at 6 level, so it's very high opportunity right over there. But if we break lower to the downside, that will be very worrisome for investors, because the possible downside of this triangle may also take high extension in its price, but to the downside, and possibly another stop for Solana will be at least 120, if not 75 bucks, right at the daily 200 exponential moving average line. So that's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, just put it in the comment section below, and see you in the next episode.